Welcome to Business News. I am Chiwendi Osisiago. The Naira on Tuesday appreciated to 363.71 Naira per dollar in the investors and exporters window, even as the volume of dollars traded rose by 65%. Data from Financial Market Dealer Quotation showed that indicative exchange rate for the window dropped to 363.71 Naira per dollar yesterday from 363.89 Naira per dollar on Monday, translating to 18 kobo of the Naira. The volume of dollars traded on Tuesday in the window rose by 65% to $147.41 million from $89.23 million on Monday. However, the Naira yesterday was stable at 361 Naira per dollar in the parallel market. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo on Tuesday defended Nigeria's $73 billion debt, despite admitting that the debt profile grew by another $10 billion between 2015 and this year. In 2015, the Vice President said the debt size was $63 billion, growing by $10 billion to hit $73 billion in 2018. However, Osinbajo dismissed those who expressed such fears and gave an analysis on why he believed debts were not the country's major problems and argued that the country's debts rose the sharpest between 2010 and 2014 when oil prices are also quite high. He said people had misconceptions when they argued that the present administration of President Muhammadu Buhari was piling up more debt than its predecessors. Osinbajo dismissed those who expressed such fears and gave an analysis on why he believed debts were not the country's major problems and argued that the country's debts rose the sharpest between 2010 and 2014 when oil prices were also quite high. He explained that in 2010, Nigeria's debt was $35 billion. In 2011, it was $41 billion. In 2012, it was $48 billion. In 2013, it became $64 billion. 2014, it rose to $67 billion. 2015, it fell to $63 billion. 2016, $57 billion. 2017, $70 billion. 2018, it is $73 billion. Adding that the difference between 2015 and now is $10 billion. The Vice President further argued that before people reach the conclusion that Nigeria was piling up much debts, they must also check the debt to gross domestic product rates. The Debt Management Office has said the federal government will auction by subscription 115 billion naira worth of bonds on November 21, 2018. On Tuesday, the breakdown of the figure revealed that 35 billion naira 5-year reopening bond to mature in April 2023 would be offered at 12.75%. Another 35 billion naira 7-year reopening bond to mature in March 2025 would be auctioned at 13.53%, while 45 billion naira 10-year bonds to mature in February 2028 would be auctioned at 13.98%. The DMO said that the unit of sale would be 1,000 per unit, subject to a minimum subscription of 50 million, 1,000, and in multiples of 1,000 naira thereafter. However, on the interest rate, it stated that for reopener of previously issued bonds, successful bidders will pay a price corresponding to the yield to maturity bid that clears the volume being auctioned. The DMO added that a total of 96.74 billion naira was allotted to bidders at the auction, and the proceeds would provide additional financing for the implementation of the 2018 Appropriation Acts. The Standards Organization of Nigeria on Monday gave highlights in line with the Nigerian industrial standards and codes of practices for beans processing across the country. The Director General, SAN, Osita Aboloma, in a statement to commend a consumer for reporting a beans vendor who preserves beans with pesticides, stated that the standards are relevant to Nigerian industrial standards and codes of practices for beans along the value chain to take care of issues concerning the proper preservation of the crop from planting to the table, while also assuring the safety of consumers. He enumerated the standards and codes of practice as follows: Standard for dry beans, NIS 1030-2018, Code of Good Agricultural Practice, Planting of Dry Beans, NCP 065-2018, Code of Good Practice, Harvesting of Dry Beans, NCP 067-2018, Code of Practice for Packaging of Dry Beans, NCP 064-2018, Code of Practice, Storage and Transportation of Dry Beans, NCP 066-2018. The Sun Healthman urged Nigerians in general to take greater interest in their welfare by reporting to relevant regulatory and security agencies any suspected unwholesome, substandard or life-endangering products or practices.